One of the worst things about being in the spotlight is having to talk to the media. Even if they're not all out to get you, interviews can break down privacy, asking questions that can sometimes be invasive, off-base, or insulting. It can be a lot for a person to handle. So it's no surprise that every once in a while, a celebrity snaps on their interviewer. Here are a few favorite examples of things getting awkward when guests turn the tables on their interviewer. Matt Damon. During a Save Our Schools rally in defense of public education, a reporter from libertarian outlet Reason TV asked Matt Damon, whose mother, a teacher, was standing right next to him, a pointed question about teachers and tenure. It was a setup to an argument that Damon didn't want to have.
It's like saying a teacher is going to get lazy when they have tenure. A teacher wants to teach.
At that point, the cameraman jumped into the conversation, throwing out a bizarre claim that 10% of teachers are bad. At that point, Damon dropped all pretense of politeness.
Where'd you get that number?
I don't know. 10% of people at any profession maybe should think of something else.
Well, okay, but I mean, maybe you're a cameraman.
Solange Knowles. Solange was 7 years into her music career when she was introduced with 2 references to her very famous older sister on a Las Vegas Fox affiliate, and characterized as someone who was just starting out instead of an experienced songwriter who'd been working since her teens.
I have to say that was not a very professional introduction before. Please don't tie me into family and my brother-in-law's establishment.
Solange wasn't just annoyed by the way she was introduced to viewers. She was also bothered by the way the pre-show talk had focused on her brother-in-law Jay-Z and his 40/40 club business. But since that conversation hadn't been broadcast, her protest made things extra confusing for the viewers and anchors both.
That wasn't live, Solange. That wasn't on TV.
Okay, well, whatever the case, we do apologize. We're glad that you're here with us this morning.
There's a lesson to be learned in how the singer stayed composed during the call-out. Don't get mad, just make it awkward. Tony Danza. Tony Danza didn't realize he was on the air via satellite when he began talking smack about a local news show. Sharing his misgivings about being sandwiched between murder and mayhem, he thought he was just talking to someone else in the room, not directly into the anchor's ear.
It's terrible.
Tony?
I'm telling you, I just realized it because I'm hearing the news show in the background. You know, you always think that you're doing those good morning shows, but this is one of those news shows.
The anchor tried to get his attention, but to no avail. Hilariously, Danza just kept ranting and sipping his coffee as the anchor sat back hearing every word.
Never know when people are listening to what you're saying, Tony.
When Danza and the anchor finally connected, the actor stuck by his comments, characterizing his own appearance as a puff piece between more depressing, serious news.
Go ahead, all right.
Well, you know, it's how I make my living, so, you know.
No, listen,
the
I'm
boss
not
is
knocking
living
you.
it.
I'm just saying you can't, just don't deny it. Please.
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson doesn't want to talk about his personal life. 4 years after a high-profile, profane arrest for drunk driving got him effectively blackballed from show business, Gibson gave an interview about his work-in-progress professional comeback. It didn't end well. The anchor asked Gibson if he thought he was a different person after the events of the years before, and something about the question set the actor off. Instead of brushing it all off, Gibson made the interview into a drawn-out confrontation.
Okay, so that's almost 4 years ago, dude. I mean, I've moved on. I guess you haven't.
Using exaggerated, clownish facial expressions, Gibson made it clear that his anti-Semitic rant was the last thing he wanted to talk about. And just in case his anger wasn't obvious, he ended the interview with an insult.
Bye-bye. Ass.
Mariah Carey. In June 2017, Mariah Carey's former fiancé, billionaire James Packer, was being sought by Israeli police for questioning. Authorities were looking into gifts that may have been illegally provided by Carey's fiancé to the Israeli Prime Minister. That same month, Carey was in Israel to promote a skincare line when a reporter decided to interrogate her about her ex's whereabouts. Taking a chilled-out approach, Carey deflected every question. The interviewer asked her to recall aspects of a dinner she'd had with her husband and the Prime Minister, and all she could really think about in the moment was the food.
They had some food there that was just pretty good. I mean, you know.
Whether Carey was covering for her boyfriend or just didn't care, the interviewer was left completely stonewalled. The closest clue he got was that the man he was looking for was, quote, somewhere doing something.
I don't know where the is. How am I supposed to know?
Emma Thompson. Media types are always trying to tie celebrities to the news of the day, and sometimes those celebrities couldn't care less. Emma Thompson let her royal wedding fatigue show during an interview with Sky TV, shutting down an interviewer who would not stop asking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Not a single thought in my head about it to share with you. I'm so sorry. I haven't even, it doesn't occur to me.
But her interviewer wouldn't drop the subject, asking Thompson if she had any well wishes for the prince and the suit star on their big day. The insistent line of questioning left the actress visibly irritated.
Really, I have nothing to say about it.
Really?
Really?
You wish them well?
Obviously, yes, but I don't know them.
It's a frustrating interaction to watch, because she couldn't have been more clear in her opinion. It's a minute of life nobody involved will ever get back.
Stop it. Just stop it, okay?
Stop wasting my time.
Mayim Bialik. The Big Bang Theory star Mayim Bialik walked the red carpet at the Screen Actors Guild Awards in 2014 and didn't hesitate to school an interviewer who questioned her intelligence. Bialik's not just a smarty pants on TV, she's also brilliant in real life too, with another gig as a neuroscientist. Seriously, the woman is smart. When a reporter asked Bialik if she could do calculus at the drop of a hat like her on-screen counterpart, she was caught off guard, unexpectedly having to remind the viewers that she studied calculus for years.
I actually was trained in calculus for several years. Yeah, I'm a neuroscientist, so you may not have known that.
Trying to cover their tracks, the interviewers claimed they knew Bialik was some kind of scientist, but come on, would you ask Bill Nye if he knew calculus? Or would you just assume, as a scientist, that he could probably figure it out?
She is actually a neuroscientist.
I'm glad I asked.
She's been planning for this role her whole life.
Exactly, yeah. Well, just for 12 years, but yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence. At the 2016 Golden Globes, Jennifer Lawrence brought down a world of criticism on herself when she called out a reporter for looking at his phone while speaking to her.
How do you see yourself for the Oscars?
You can't live your whole life behind your phone, bro.
Huh?
You're just not gonna, we can't do that. You gotta live in the now.
Oh, sorry.
The reporter apologized and tried to continue his question, asking the actress how she felt about her chances for Oscar night. Instead of answering the question, which she misunderstood, she chastised the interviewer, thinking he was asking about the current award show rather than a future one.
We're at the Golden Globes. If you put your phone down, you'd know that.
Lawrence was later criticized for being insensitive when the moment went viral. Because the reporter spoke with a thick accent, many believed he may have been looking at a translation on his phone. For an actress who tries to come across as down-to-earth, it was a major diva move. Helen Mirren. In 1975, decorated actor Helen Mirren was subjected to one of the most sexist interviews ever with broadcaster Michael Parkinson, who referred to the Academy Award winner as a sex queen. It was offensive even at the time, but today, it's jaw-dropping.
Others have called her sensual, graceful, and the final accolade, and I quote, "She's especially telling in projecting sluttish eroticism. She is Miss Helen Mirren."
Instead of even attempting to put forth respectful questions, the interviewer asked the Royal Shakespeare Company veteran if her equipment and physical attributes had a tendency to hinder her acting. In case the folks at home didn't get it, he also laser-focused his eyes on her chest.
Hinder you in your pursuit of the ambition of being a successful actress?
A successful
or
and
a
serious actress, because serious actresses can't have big bosoms. Is that what you mean?
The Dame Commander of the British Empire, who now has a Tony Award, 3 consecutive BAFTA awards, and a 2,000-word Wikipedia article devoted solely to her acting accomplishments, stayed classy, gentle, and above the fray during the outrageous interaction. She even came back for another interview years later. Now that's class, or great acting. Thanks for watching. Click the Nicki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.